Right, I'm not even going to do my usual introduction where I say I'm delighted to say that joining us on the We Are West Ham podcast, because everyone knows how thrilled I am to chat to Tim Warwood every single time we play Aston Villa. Big time Winter Olympics Don, big time summer skateboarding Don, big time BBC Don, just general big time Don. But as much as he might have achieved in his own personal career, everyone knows that on the We Are West Ham podcast, Tim Warwood is nowhere near as famous as Uncle Ron. We're hoping to hear from him again tonight from the
Mate,
Villa
I've
group
checked
chat.
in with Uncle Ron. I've checked in. We might just hear something from him.
Yes.
So
I'll be
don't
honest,
you worry.
mate.
We might have a little surprise for you.
I'll be honest, mate. If I had his number, you wouldn't be on here. Do you know what I mean? I know you're a big-time BBC broadcaster these days, Tim, but we've got bigger fish to fry to be on West Ham podcast. If we had a direct line to Uncle Ron, who'd be the man?
He'd be straight on.
First of all, Tim, brilliant to have you back, as always. Me and James, we just, like all of us, having a little intro chat, as we normally do, before we hit the record button. I've just gone and retrieved an Estrella Galicia out of the minibar in the hotel fridge. I understand that you were singing a lullaby to your kid while I was ringing you up asking where the hell are you, because you need to get on the record, and you've just gone and retrieved yourself a cheeky little rum, is it?
Yeah, I'm on a rum and tonic with a splash of lemonade or lemon juice in it, because we haven't got any normal lemons. It's one of them leftover little plastic lemons that you get from Pancake Day. It's like a poor man's rum and ginger. It's like, I don't know, but it tastes all right, to be fair. So it's not too bad.
Jonesy, immediate thoughts on that, because that sounds like the roguest alcoholic drink I've ever heard of.
I mean, it is rogue, but I respect that. You know,
do you though?
You just make what you've got, make do with whatever you got at your disposal, and clearly that's what Tim had. And
thank you very much. You're chatting to a man that's had to dredge the proverbial drinks cupboard right there. Didn't even have any ginger or anything to go with the rum.
Just step us through it again. So you've whacked a rum in there. I told you when you texted me, I said, have you got time? I said, make it a large one. So you've got a...
Yeah.
I'm assuming that is a large one.
It's a half pint. Yeah, it's a half pint. Not much ice.
After the rum, what the hell makes up the rest of it?
I've basically poured in a bit of ice crumbs in the bottom of it. I've then had to put in some Indian tonic water, right? Because it's the only mix we've got other than orange juice. I thought orange juice ain't going to work. Exactly. And then, because we had no lemons, I had to really dredge the old food stores, and I've used up the remainder of the little yellow pot of Jif lemon that you get on Pancake Day. You know, you get those plastic things that look like lemons, and I'll just do a couple of squirts of that in it.
I love the idea that you've thought that's the weirdest part of the story. Like, even apart from the fact that rum and tonic and lemon, as if that would, if it was a wedge of lemon, it'd be totally normal.
Oh, do you know what though? Normally I'd sack it off, but it's my dad's birthday. We've been out for Turkish tonight, and I had a couple of cans of Effie's, and I've come home with the thirst on, and I can't quench it.
Singing lullabies.
So I've had to have rum. Gone and sung the lullabies to Sonny, and I've had to knock back a rum and tonic.
Lovely stuff, mate. Lovely stuff. No, absolutely brilliant. Because I mean, this is the most drunk I've ever been, I think, Jonesy. Perhaps since the old Love Sport Radio days when I've done a We Are West Ham podcast. But I am out in Seville, having done. Tim, I'll be honest, mate, and we always say this to you. You are our favourite, genuinely, and I'm not saying this because you're on. You're our favourite opposition view. However, I'll be honest. This week, you're part of a double-decker opposition view with Dan McGuinness, who works for actual Sevilla, who I've just spoken to in the Plaza de España in Seville.
Stop it.
Like, out in the street, couple of beers, talking to us about Anthony Martial, all the lads he speaks to. He's actually giving you a run for your money, which I never thought would happen.
Mate, is he a good guy? Do I need to have him sorted out? Do I?
He's lovely. He's he's Northern Irish. He's fluent in Spanish and Portuguese, which is crazy. And the guy's younger than me. He just sat there, nice and chill, telling us bits about Sevilla. The sun was out. Dad was there. We had a couple of Estrellas. It was a lovely time. But to be fair, you know,
living the dream.
He didn't give us any messages from his uncles, so swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. We've got how long have we got to get the Uncle Ron voice?
Exactly.
Memo?
We've always got time for Uncle Ron. Listen, Tim, talk to us about Villa. We've already established on this podcast tonight that this is the biggest week in modern West Ham history for me and Jonesy. I'm out in Seville already. Jonesy unfortunately couldn't make it. It's 3,000 to 4,000 West Ham fans on their way out to Spain, either out here already or on their way out over the next couple of days. We're so excited for this game, and talking frankly, none of us really care what happens against Villa on Sunday.
Care what happens on the weekend, do you?
It'd be nice to get a win, of course, but ultimately, everyone involved in West Ham circles is bothered about what's going on Thursday. Those of us here are absolutely fizzing for it, including me. I've never been so excited for a football club, and just talking about how much this is brought to life my love for West Ham. Delighted to be it. Next Thursday will be the same. Meet up with Jonesy before. Huge game, right? All that sort of stuff. You know what it's like, Tim.
Yeah,
but there is a game on Sunday.
Well, this is it. And before we get there, you know me. I'm not a die-hard sign up for I'm going to kill all of you and all your family kind of opposition. It's just the genuine love for the game, innit? And I do appreciate,
and your club.
I do just appreciate, when people love their club and their club's going through a good spell, you got to be happy for them. Well, not all clubs, but majority. But you know what I mean. And I've never had any beef. Like I said to you a long time ago, actually, my Uncle John is a West Ham fan. So anyway, Christmas is around the dinner time. Could have had Uncle John and Uncle Ron, couldn't we? Double act. So it's West Ham is always we've always had the banter around the dinner tables at Christmas and whatnot. So it's there's no animosity whatsoever, and it's good to see you boys doing well because I've always been a fan of Moyes as well, and I've said that before. He's So I wish you all the best until Sunday. Because actually, I think we're due a win. We're due a win against you, aren't we?
Yeah, you are.
Really.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I won't bring up the result earlier on in the season, Tim. It's a different looking Villa now, though, isn't it? I mean, we've been talking about how much we're falling back in love with West Ham, but as becoming Liverpool Mark II, or the former Liverpool in terms of Gerrard and Coutinho, brought your love back for Villa, mate, because it's looking good under those two.
It really is. And, a lot of chat about Dean Smith, wasn't there? What he did for the club and how it reignited the love for the team with the entire fan base again. And it's just when you think it couldn't be any more, but it is, what he's doing and the style and the ethos. And just when you hear him talk, you can't believe I can't actually believe he's our manager. Do you know what I mean? Like the simple fact that he talks so eloquently and so brilliantly, and you think to yourself, flipping heck, him in the changing room. And have you ever seen? I've not seen footage of him. I've seen footage of Rooney on the training ground, like banging a couple of free kicks in and playing with the players. Surely Stevie G must be doing that as well. He must be, and he looks fitter than what Rooney does, doesn't he? So no doubt he's still got it. That wand of a right leg of his must be. And I think as a player to see that and to see what he's done, and he's got him playing, hasn't he? And no bigger kind of example than little Phil. Look at him. He had a torrid time, didn't he, at Barcelona, and didn't really get going. And he's come to us, and he looks like he's having fun. Looks like he's really enjoying his football. And when you enjoy your football, you just play good, don't you?
Were you surprised with Coutinho coming? Because a lot of people were, but I thought, no, the connection with Gerrard, it makes sense. Like, he wants to play football, and he's got a chance to meet up with his mate again. I don't think it was surprising as quite a few neutrals in particular made out. And I'm definitely not surprised that he's hit the ground running and is playing well.
I think it's probably just the Villa fan base, isn't it? When have we've had some good signings, but we haven't had any of those huge name signings, not for years. I mean, I can't even really remember any in my tenure as a Villa fan. The big names that just are like, whoa, we've got him. Unbelievable. It's like buzzing. The WhatsApp groups were going off when he signed, and it's.
I love the Villa WhatsApp groups, and I'm not even in any of them.
Yeah, I could add you to a few if you want. It just went mental. Like I think the surprise was genuinely from Villa fans. You're right, because coming in so early, and Stevie G said more recently that, you know, it's up to the directors what happens. He said he's going to put in his recommendations, but ultimately you got Perslow in there, you got Lang, and it's up to them guys to get the deals across the line and to make it work or to say yes or no at the end of the day. But I've kind of lost myself. What was I saying? Yeah, basically.
Like Perslow, by the way. What a
mate,
like,
well, again, you see him chat and you just fall for him, don't you?
The stuff after Grealish,
you believe in what he says.
Yeah. He talks when he has to, and he shuts up when he has to. I really like that.
Yeah, something I could learn a bit from. But no, huge signing. Can we hold on to him? Are Barcelona going to want to, you know, now he's playing well, are they going to tote him out and say, look, he's playing well, you know, try and
probably
get a bit
need his
more money
wages
for him?
back though, don't they?
Jonesy,
yeah.
Just a quick question, Jonesy. Just a quick question to you. Tim's talking there about what Stevie G might be doing in training. Do you remember the story about Carlton Cole talking about Zola in training? And I think Bellamy might have mentioned it when Zola rocked up and just got involved in the session, took one on his chest and pinged a volley in the top left corner.
And almost
made the players like embarrassed because they were not only never going to be as good as he was when he was actually a player, they still weren't actually anywhere near as good as he was while he was a 45-year-old manager.
Yeah. Do you think Jacob Ramsey's obviously come through and he's having a class season? He's certainly one player that's almost feeding off the fact that he's working under someone like Steven Gerrard. Yeah,
absolutely. And I've read a few things, you know, talking about Carney Chukwuemeka and his contract talks were stalling, or there's something going around, and all Stevie came out and all he simply said was, you know, if we'll develop him. We know how to develop him. If he wants to develop if one of the world's greatest ever box-to-box players says he's going to teach you the ropes and tell you how to be good, do you know what I mean? You're going to listen, aren't you? Really? You're going to be I'm going to stick with him, thanks. And you look at the stats for Ramsey for where he is, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it. Where he is compared to where Grealish was at that age, he's light years ahead already. And I don't want to get too bogged down into stats. Grealish does a lot off the ball, or he did do a lot for us off the ball, which, you know, a stat man doesn't write about. But he's
stat man,
Jacob Ramsey.
XG.
I haven't got stats to hand, mate.
But he's really, really flourishing. Gerrard loves him. And then this week, you know, there's a lot of chat. Obviously, as Coutinho keeps playing brilliantly, it just the entire team flourished, don't they? And you know, the Ramsey scored, didn't he? A goal. I'm trying to think who it was against. Was it Leeds? No.
Everyone scores against Leeds, Tim.
That's not that's true. That's true. I'm trying to think who it was. Anyway, beautiful ball through. Ramsey scored.
Say it was Arsenal. Arsenal.
It was Arsenal. Yeah, brilliant. Probably was. It will be Arsenal. But it was, and afterwards he said, you know, the simple fact that a couple of years ago I was sitting watching him play for Barcelona or watching him play in the Champions League, and now all of a sudden he's threading balls through for me. Like he can't quite believe it himself, Jacob Ramsey. So again, it's just, what's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships. And when you got someone like Coutinho coming in as well, I mean, it's just good for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah. But what's Gerrard done tactically? Will change tactically at Villa then, because it can't just be he's formed one of an ex world class box to box midfielder.
Yeah,
that probably helps.
It helps, but it can't just be that.
I can't see this. What did we play on when we beat Southampton? So we played like a diamond midfield on Saturday. So we're playing two up front. It's the classic two up top has been a bit of a sticking point, hasn't it? We started off well the season, then we faltered a little bit. We had a bit of a poor run, didn't win in 7, and then it was. But he stuck with it. He dropped Watkins for a game, then he dropped Ings for a couple of games. But now they're back in. They're both firing. Buendia, his form never really dipped. Coutinho's now playing really well. John McGinn's starting to find that electric form and that drive. And I don't know if he's changed anything tactically massively, but it's just that belief. It's that I don't know if I said it last time, but again, as a Villa fan now, when you go one down, you don't panic because you're just like, we are actually going to score here. We went 1-0 down to you, didn't we, in November? Ultimately, we lost 4-1. But we knew we were going to score, and we did. We did. It's just that when we got into second gear, you were already into third and fourth gear by that point. But you know you're going to score, and you know you're going to... And that belief and that drive, and I guess... I don't know whether because again, I've never played the game. I've never played it. Don't get me wrong.
Despite contrary to popular opinion,
mate, I can play anywhere. Although I am playing at Villa Park on the 16th of May in a charity day, but we'll save that one.
Tim, don't. Jonesy will start wheeling out the story of him scoring a goal at London Stadium earlier in the summer, and I really haven't got the energy to hear it again.
Oh, mate, what episode is it? I'll go back and listen.
We haven't got the time, but I'll tell you privately though, Tim. It's a great story. Right.
Just go sum it up briefly, Jonesy, because if I'd done it, I'd be talking about it every episode. So I'll give you one more shot.
Tony Cottee was my childhood hero. He was managing our team. He brought me off the bench. We're 1-0 down. He goes, James, go on and get a goal for us. Go up front.
Stop it.
And that's exactly what I did.
This is true.
That's exactly what I did.
Talking through it.
I came off the bench. By the way, I was absolutely shattered within 5 minutes playing on a Premier League sized pitch. Ball comes in off the left. I dummy the defender, and I meant to round about the penalty spot. I meant to go bottom right. So knackered, I ended up going top central. Fell on my backside. It hit the back of the net. Everyone thought I was injured because I was on the floor. I was actually just just finished. And then
had you been 2 meters back, it would have been straight over the bar. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah, it was that bad. And then about 5 or 10 minutes later, I rolled my ankle, and that was me done for the day.
Stop it!
And then got carried off the pitch by Danny Dyer and Colton Cole of all people. So that was my afternoon.
It was a big day, Tim. It was a big day.
And it was so bad they gave me man of the match out of pity because.
Jonesy, do me a favour while Tim's on. Tell him. So, you've told that story excellently. Just do me a favour. Tell Tim about the souvenir that you had made off the back of that game, which I believe is hanging on your wall.
No, I haven't received it. I actually didn't send it to me in the end.
You're joking? You picked it up on the podcast and everything.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So, Tim, the story. We won't talk about the company then. But the story was that Jonesy got a, one of those things you get, like the iconic goal, like graphics, where there's like it shows like the pitch with the pass, the assist, and all that. So, a company got in touch with the podcast after Jonesy had been bragging about it on Twitter. Going, Jonesy, we can mock this up for you, get a big canvas. He was loving it, lapping it up on Twitter, just so everyone knew that he'd scored at London Stadium. And do you know how pleased I am, Jonesy, to learn that they didn't actually send it to you?
What they did, they sent me a mock-up view, but without all the key information in. They said, we've pretty much done it for you, but we just need to. There's just loads of question marks where all the information should be.
Yeah, because they were like, how the hell did a bloke like you score at London Stadium?
Yeah, so I said, So I literally, within seconds of them sending it to me, I sent back all the information they needed, and that's the last I heard from them about 3 months ago.
Good.
Good, mate.
Absolutely delighted. Tim, what is if you had to score a goal at Villa Park, then if you're playing there, when are you playing there?
The Monday, the 16th of May. Not that I'm excited or getting ready for it.
Event, or...
Yeah,
event. Not that I'm
excited. 5 p.m. I'll be running on. It's the entire Villa boys and girls WhatsApp group. It's all of us playing.
Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron's coming out and everything.
Jonesy, we're going
honest.
To that. Is there an away watch? Is there an away end?
Of course,
absolutely will come.
I'm going to come my autograph book.
Yeah,
mate. You get Uncle. You might get Uncle John as well. I think Uncle John might come and watch that one.
Mate, yeah, but exclusive interview with Uncle John for the We Are West Ham podcast, Jonesy.
I think if I have to describe my goal, because I'm play at left back, so no doubt I'd collect the ball somewhere in my own half. I'd 1-2, just running. I wouldn't break stride with Uncle Ron. Right. Uncle Ron in the middle. It would come to me, and then I'd just running towards the edge of the box, and I'd just whip it in on my right, and it would just bend top corner. Job done.
Ben Johnson-esque at Villa Park, Jonesy.
Just a little bit.
You literally just described Ben Johnson, but from the opposite side of the pitch.
Yeah. Jonesy, go on. Over to you, mate. Sorry.
Well, I mean, after being sidetracked by my brilliant, brilliant performances at London Stadium, how do you think this one's going to go, Tim, at London Stadium?
Where some actual footballers are playing.
Yeah, where actual real professional footballers are playing.
Well, we've both got big. Well, you've got a bigger game than us. When are you playing? Thursday.
Yeah.
You'll be knackered. You have jet lag and everything as well.
Yeah, I've got jet lag already. I just arrived.
Yeah, but that's not the flight. That's the 55 Australia lad that's causing you jet lag. No, we play Leeds as well, don't we? When do we play Leeds? When
and they're notoriously difficult to play
both playing
at the moment.
Yeah, they're too knackered running the ball in the net. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I mean, I haven't got one even remotely right yet, have I? And we've lost every time. No. I think you've cursed me since coming on. I'm sure we used to beat you before I started coming on.
That's why we keep inviting you back, mate.
I'd like to see us score some goals. We always score goals. Can we do it? Do you think 2-1? I reckon we could do it. I reckon we can. We've got good strength in depth now as well. That's the other thing. We've got Leon Bailey coming back. Traore coming back, from injury. Ings and Watkins are firing now. They're starting to score goals. Defensively, all of our defenders are fit and healthy. Ish, I think. We'll see what happens Thursday. But yeah, I'd like to think that we can put in a performance. Yeah, why not? Screw it. 2-1. We're going to win 2-1.
Nice.
Josie, between me and you,
yeah,
I appreciate this goes out to thousands of people every week, but let's pretend it didn't for 2 seconds. If I was just betting on money wise, 2-1 to Villa screams to me this week. It's definitely going to be 2-1 to Villa, isn't it? Like we normally like Villa. I always, no matter how good Villa are playing, no matter how crap we are playing Villa, I'm like, yeah, we're going to win. They're always a good team. They're a comfortable. You know, everyone has those teams in the Premier League, don't they?
Yeah.
No matter who's playing well, who's playing shit. Like whenever we used to play Everton, I was like, well, we'll lose because it's Everton. They always beat us. Villa, I'm like, well, yeah, of course we'll win. I know we're going down this season, but we'll still beat Villa. But and this weekend is that I just think, 2-1 to Villa stands out to me like a sore thumb, big time.
I mean,
and ignore my Betway charity bet because we're going to lose 2-1.
I'm putting it up now because I'm pretty sure we always draw. Actually, no, we don't. Yeah,
we always beat Villa.
Nah. We do. We draw quite a lot. 20 draws out of 45 Premier League meetings.
Blimey, is it that high?
How many times have they beat us? Genuinely, though, we've definitely got the winning record.
Nah. 45 Premier League meetings. West Ham have won 12. 20 draws, 13 wins for Villa.
All right. But I reckon those 13 Villa wins were like from 1980.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And if they're Prem wins, that's weirdly, early stage Prem.
We're on 49 goals and Villa on 50. So we could bring up the big magic 50 against Villa this weekend, which should be exciting.
The big magic 50, like that's the thing. Tim, what just before we go, Jones has done a sterling job there, but what's the Villa like thought process? Because I genuinely do. Every time Villa come up, I'm like, phew, like 3 points. Like home or away. Like, I just feel that way. And every team's got that view about teams. Yeah. What do Villa feel about West Ham? What do you feel about when you play West Ham? Other than being delighted you get to speak to us too.
Well, firstly, I'm delighted to get to speak to you two. Love my folks. It's my favourite non-Aston Villa podcast. Do you know what?
What about your BBC one?
Oh yeah, sure. I should say that, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay, that one first. No, I think it's a lot. It is for me. It always feels like only because since meeting you guys and coming and doing this and chatting about it. And I look forward to it now every time the fixture comes around, because I know it's nice to get your phone call. I might not get it if we beat you. I might not get it next season if we beat you on Sunday. But it is a bit of like doom and gloom, isn't it? It's like, oh, well, not gonna get any points there. Because you're absolutely right. I feel that against Everton, where you feel like you're going to lose. Well, I feel always optimistic when we play Everton. I was like, well, we're going to win that one.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what the stats are. Am I going to have to bring them up now? Probably am.
No, ignore the stats. Jones is big stats guy, but I'm much more about emotion and football and passion. But Jones is
and it's the family WhatsApp group always goes off, doesn't it? Because Uncle John likes to have a bit of bants and let us know how much better West Ham are. I don't know what the story is, why he ended up supporting West Ham.
Is he from Birmingham?
Oh yeah, he's from Walsall. Yeah, born and raised. I don't know.
Absolutely crazy. Also, while you're on, actually, Dave mentioned Walsall. My best friend, one of my best friends, who I live with at the moment, is a big Leyton Orient fan, Leyton Orient season ticket holder, who has got the idea that Walsall are the worst team in the Football League. Like, not just like this season, just generally like the most like crap football team in the Football League. I love Walsall, frankly.
Mate, the Saddlers. Uncle Mark's a season ticket holder at the Saddlers.
My dad is called Mark, who's asleep on the bed behind the camera right here. Just quickly then.
Do you know what? I don't know enough about them. I don't know enough about Walsall. I just know they are a bit rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, they are rubbish. Yeah. I'll tell you what then, Tim. So have we got anything, first of all, from Uncle Ron or Uncle John? I didn't realise there was an Uncle John. Now we do. I feel like we should get him involved in the podcast a little bit more. Have we got anything?
Yeah, you'll like this. So I messaged Uncle Ron. I've had something. Should we just phone him? Shall I phone him?
He said, Jonesy, this is superb content, isn't it? What a podcast this is going to be.
This is content.
I'm just going to phone him.
Go on, ring him. That's it. Right in the microphone. Lovely.
He's probably watching Bake Off or something. He does love her. He's ever so good at, say, an Eccles cake.
Oh, cooking, is he?
Yeah, he brings his Eccles cakes into the Holt End sometimes. Anyway, he messaged me and he went, yeah, I'm happy to send you a voicemail. Can I have a couple of... All right. Unk.
Hello.
Unk. It's Tim.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Are you?
Hello, Tim. Yes, sir, mate. So I got your text.
Yeah.
So I said, can you give me a day or two to sort it out?
No, we're live now.
Oh, you're live now?
Yeah, go on. You're on. Just say something.
Come on, Uncle.
Swear.
Come on, Uncle Ron.
Oh, Tim, you've really caught me now. The thing is, you're live now?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, guys.
All right. Uncle Ron, it's a pleasure to speak to you, mate.
I don't know what to really say now. You really
Uncle Ron.
I'm really looking forward to this game, except the fact I don't want a repeat of last season, because that was a bit embarrassing, that was. So please go easy on us. That's all I'm asking.
Uncle Ron, can you hear me, Uncle Ron?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Uncle Ron, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I mean, Tim's told you we're live. We're not actually live. It's a pre-record, but it will go out. So effectively, you can swear if you want. We don't usually, but you're saying avoid a repeat of last season. We've already spoke to Tim. We've got a massive game against Sevilla this week. We don't really care whether we beat Aston Villa or not. I think that Villa could genuinely get a 2-1 win. However, I think Declan Rice will cuck Philippe Coutinho. What are your thoughts?
Well, yes. I mean, he has been playing well, hasn't he? Your Declan Rice, I must admit. I do admire him. But according to Ollie Watkins, Coutinho's got something that he's way ahead of the rest of the team, he reckons. So, I think he may be a little bit ahead of Declan Rice. It'll be an interesting battle. I'm sure Declan Rice is looking forward to the challenge.
Uncle Ron,
he's only played 4 or 5 games and he scored 3 and with 3 assists. So I think we're very lucky having him, to be honest. Don't you think so?
I just said that. I said we feel lucky to have him. But James Jonesy on the podcast here, he says that all the other fans across the league just think it's quite a natural fit for us to have him.
It is.
Maybe because we've had so many years of buying just rubbish players, really.
That's what I said.
Right, Uncle.
Rudiger
Uncle
Stead
Ron.
wasn't rubbish. Rudiger Stead was amazing on paper.
Uncle Ron, look, let me get Uncle Ron back just for one last time. Uncle Ron, look, we've absolutely loved all your contributions to this podcast. You're one of the
non-grass.
Say that again.
Oh, sorry, Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron, Will's just saying something to you here.
Uncle
Okay.
Ron.
Carry
Uncle
on,
Ron, it's been an absolute pleasure for all the times you come on this podcast, and all of our listeners, trust me, you might not have seen it, but they absolutely love what you do. Thinking ahead to the game this weekend, right, regardless of players, but like, what do you actually think? We were just chatting about how whenever we play Villa, I just think we're going to win. It doesn't matter what happens because you're one of those teams. What are your thoughts ahead of the game? Like, what sort of stuff are you putting in the WhatsApp group this week?
Obviously, it always is with Hammers, but I reckon we could just, the way we're playing, I think we could just nick it by the goal.
Yeah.
Is
Couldn't
that
agree
fair
with you more,
to say,
Uncle
you
Ron.
think, Tim?
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah.
I've gone for a 2-1 win, actually. I think
Tim,
they're going to be
is,
jet lagged coming back
is
from
that-
southern Spain.
Is Uncle Ron going to the game?
Yeah, so yeah, you've got to be, matey. You'll have to be. It's a good hour, you know.
Hey,
2 hours
also
15 this
just
morning.
quickly, let's
Yes.
I wanted to also fill the boys in. How did Uncle John end up a West Ham fan?
Oh, don't ask. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, you should be a Wolf fan. I don't know about the Villa. No, actually, I think didn't they in 1964? Didn't they 65? Didn't they win the Intercities Fairs Cup or something like
Right.
that?
Cup Winners' Cup, mate.
I think
And
Cup
the
Winners'
FA
Cup.
Cup. And the FA Cup.
And the FA Cup.
FA Cup in 1964.
Not Trevor Brooking. When
Won the FA Cup in 1964.
Oh, that's my battery gone on my phone.
Oh, we've lost him.
Honestly,
Cut him
that
straight
was
off.
The most elite.
We lost
content.
Uncle Ron mid
What a
chat.
man! What a man Uncle Ron is, eh? What a man Uncle Ron is. Jonesy,
There we go.
yes or no? There isn't a no to this. Undoubtedly, the best podcast from opposition views we've ever done. We've been doing it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Tim Warwood has always been our
unrivaled.
fave.
Unrivaled.
then-
Oh, stop it.
A live one from Sevilla.
Unrivaled.
I know we keep saying it, but I genuinely believe it. We should, in person, next season, when you come up to Villa Park, Uncle Ron will get the Eccles cakes out. We'll go and have a
Mate.
beer and we'll do a before and
Absolutely.
after in-person podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
All over it.
Definitely.
100%.
What a time to be
Yeah.
alive.
Couple of beers,
So
that'll be ace.
you and Uncle Ron not coming down this weekend. That's what I was trying to get
No.
out of Uncle Ron.
No. Unfortunately, it's my nanny Hughes's memorial this Sunday.
Fair
So
play.
we're the whole family are getting together and having a beer for Nanny Hughes, and so we'll be
Fair play.
watching. We'll get it
Well,
on
look,
the telly.
Tim, massive love from me and Jonesy to Nanny Hughes. Massive love to the Warwood family, Uncle John's, Uncle Ron's family, all of you. We absolutely love you to pieces. It's been brilliant having you on again this week. Jonesy's done a sterling job there.